Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on PharcydeTv with my co-host Jeremy Scipio
What's going on, people?
and a very special guest, Mr. Pevin Everett.
What's happening, everybody?
Yeah, so with Pevin, man, I gotta break it down. So
Thanks for
uh
having me, brother.
I had a homeboy of a homeboy like turn me on to your music, but I had heard your music, but I didn't connect it to the person. And
Yeah,
so um when we were coming out on that particular leg of the Gorillas tour that you kind of like started off, you're the whole strobe light situation.
yeah.
Um, Brown and I fly over. We go straight from the airport to the venue,
hmm
and we went to the male lead backstage area, and we were kicking. It was like a lot of people back there, but it was like the common area for the other than the actual gorilla band or whatever. So Brown and I are back there, we're kicking it, do 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 do. So then it's kind of like, well, you know what? Let's go and say what's up to D. So we walk into the dressing room, and when we walked in, I'm like, oh shit, what's up, Damon? Woo woo woo. And then I looked and I saw you, and I was just like, damn, like this was. I hadn't heard Strobe Light yet, so like it was just purely me being a fan of Pevin and me going backstage and seeing him, and it's like, okay, cool, he seems cool, whatever, woo woo.
Word.
And then that night was the video shoot, and
Mm.
so I had never heard the song, and so we go into the club, and I hear the song, and I'm like, dang, I'm like, they did so. The Gorillas did a song with Pevin, and he's really blowing. Like he's not, and like we discussed earlier today, like man, you're just a passionate musician. You play instruments, you sing, but like you were blowing, and I was like, oh. And then it went from that to you and Brown. You were singing. I believe it was maybe Stylo. It was a couple of Bobby Womack songs that he had done with the Gorillas,
hmm
and watching you and Brown perform, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. People know Pevin Everett as this, R&B soul singer and all this, but I'm like, man, he's out here and he's blowing. And I felt I was kind of like, man, I wish everybody could kind of see. And I don't have that many moments, but I was like, man, I
Yeah.
wish people could see what I'm looking at right now. So
Word.
with that being said, for those that don't know, what city are you from?
Oh, I'm from Chicago, but a little suburb outside of Chicago, south of it, called Harvey, Illinois.
Harvey,
Yeah,
terrible place, bro. That place is scary.
yeah, man. I came up in the roughest of the rough. I mean, Deion Cole was a few of us from the same area, and we went to school together and everything. So,
Not just him. Chief Keef, the most
oh
dangerous
yeah,
person to
yeah,
happen to hip hop.
exactly.
yeah, yeah. No,
It's
I
a
was in Chicago.
smorgasbord.
You said what?
It's a smorgasbord going out there, man. Harvey, man.
Yeah, man. I had some friends in Harvey when I was in Chicago. They was like, let me take you to Harvey. You know what I mean? Chicago already rough, and then we went to Harvey. I was like, oh, this is for real, man. Like,
Bro. It was like early. It was like early Compton. It still feels like that.
yeah, that even no offense to Harvey. It's just this is a very special place to me. It's definitely worse than Compton.
I'm glad you've given us that badge of honor, if you will. Uh, I'll, I'll gladly take it with gratitude because people say it's only soft dudes come from out there in the suburbs, but nah, we had the capital of murders, bro. Like in the nation,
yeah,
like for a long time, like over a decade, we had it locked solid every month. So it's very dangerous there, but it's cultivated a great deal of talent that
yeah.
I'm so proud to be from Harvey, man.
Yeah. They make really hard niggas, but they make really good chicken.
Yeah.
I'm describing the
Yeah.
right place. When was the
That's
first
it.
time you what is the first time you heard hip hop and what was the song?
First time I heard hip hop. It's a good question. It was kind of like, I don't know if you give it the hip hop title or not, because I don't want to get into the politics of any of that. But I will say for sure that it was probably the Blondie record, like the little Five Freddy joint, that kind of thing. That's when I was being introduced to the idea of hip hop existing. But
Jeremy's
when I
young.
saw,
I'm
huh?
sorry. No, I was gonna say Jeremy's younger than us, so he's not. He probably not catching it. But it's I know what you I know what you're talking about.
How I go?
Uh, Blondie's rapping a little bit, and she's dapping Fab Five Freddy up, and it was almost it was after disco, but
Yeah, it had a disco kind of a tempo to it.
yeah, I know what you're talking
So
about.
you gotta peep it.
Yeah,
It's this little
Okay.
really weird wizardy melody she sings over the top of it, right? But anyway, it was my introduction to possibly having, people just speak in addition to singing over something. But I really became a hardcore hip hop fan probably around freshman or sophomore year in high school, and that was an introduction through my friend, my boy Hearn, and it was Tribe.
hmm.
I remember it was Low End Theory, all right, and it was
Okay.
also he hit me to Beats Rhymes and Life after that. When I hit Beats Rhymes and Life, dude, I lost my gourd. I went absolutely ham, bro. That album, it was life changing for me. And then I got into the earlier diggable stuff, and then blow out comb and all of that. Look, Pharcyde, like that was I was a skater boy, so like this was like my wheelhouse right here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You opened up something. I know you said you didn't want to get into the politics of it, but I mean that is some very core stuff. You opened up a whole like Pandora's box on like the origins of hip hop with that choice. I'm looking at that. That's all it is politics associated with that. They're saying that the song is called Rapture, and it's the first
Yeah,
music video, and it's the first rap video ever broadcast on MTV.
there it is. Yeah,
But here we go. Literally,
yeah.
like you can see people getting upset immediately,
I
saying
digress.
nobody says or believes that she invented hip hop.
No,
Like they
no,
are really. This
no,
is a
absolutely
very
not.
controversial record.
Yeah.
They want to give the credit of hip hop to this white woman. So this is very interesting. That's
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
not. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that was the first I heard it, because I ain't had no. I barely had a radio. So when I
Uh-huh.
called it, I called the channels that my little my little hanger could transmit in through that radio that I patched together, and I mean it was rough living, man, for a long time for me. So whatever I could get my hands on that was musically based, I stuck to it like glue and learned what I could from it. But when I finally got, you know, my legs underneath me and I could start going to my friends' houses a lot more often, and started to being more social, then that's when hip hop really started to make its way into my life.
I'm just imagining this hard kid from Harvey, Illinois, listening to Blondie, the white woman, rocking
Yeah,
her head.
I had to. I had no choice.
Hey man, it was dope. You had to
That was
be
the only
there.
station I
Yeah,
had.
man, that song was hard. Yeah.
Nah, that's cool though.
Yeah.
So tell me this, Pevin. So contemporarily, like right now, what are your favorite mediums to consume music? Like when you're looking for music or you listen to music, is it Spotify? Is it like what how do you listen to music when you're
Ooh. Yeah, like I mean, you just said something that kind of, just it made me tick a little bit, set me off. I was triggered a second. So you said a word in there that I'm not so keen on.
Oh, I
But
can imagine. I can I can imagine.
forgive me. I mean, I might need to take a drink of water, or something to clear the palate from. Anyway, the what I tend to gravitate to is my memory, particularly because if I don't have a memory that has given me a relationship with the music, and I can't rely on that memory, then that means I need more studying. And that allows me to really reflect on the basis of my memory, making sure that I remember how much I loved it. And that keeps me a fan of the material rather than, the producer who's checking, oh, I wish he didn't mix it that way, or he did play it that way. I don't listen that way. I want to maintain my relationship as a fan of the music. So what? I'm a musician. That's got nothing to do with me liking Prince, me liking Donnie, me liking, Tribe or Buster. Like I like what I like, man. I'm a fan of music too. But in order to have that safe space for myself, man, I feel like that's the only thing that kind of keeps me sane is as long as I can be a fan of something. I know I haven't gotten so ahead of myself and ahead of my society and the people that I'm with, my crew, my folks, that I'm just too big for the moment, man. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm looking to make sure that the music can always catch me where I am and I can always hear it when it's going down.
Yeah.
That was pretty deep. I didn't know you was gonna stop right there.
Yeah, I did.
No, I feel you because I don't know, my musical taste ranges, and then people try to put you in a box based upon I guess your age or demographic or whatever. It's like you have a right, you have emotions, and you might want to pull from certain things in certain ways when you're creating too.
Yeah. That's the way experiences roll, I mean, think about it. When you go to school, you meet 30, 40 kids in your class. That's 30, 40 personalities. You got to get your vibe right with. It's a very complex kind of a organized little exhibit they got happening at the school system. So, if you really take a close look at that microcosm, you can really start to realize how important it is to be able to relate to people. And that, my friend, is what got me into the idea that I was supposed to educate. Is because I was interested in the human condition and why somebody couldn't hear how beautiful this was, or how hardcore that beat was, or like, what is it that you like about music? Okay, wherever you are, I'm gonna meet you wherever you are. And in order for me to do that, that means I have to be knowledgeable about where you've been.
Yes.
Correct. And at a very young age, I realized that was my way into having true insight on how to be in the brain of a bass player when he's at his most stressful moment, the drummer at his most stressful, the guitar player at his most stressful. If you don't know what those moments are like, you can't talk people off of the ledge, bro. And otherwise lose a fantastic musician because of frustration.
Yeah.
So it's about that. That's the real relationship of music. And that's what gets everybody working later on in life. It builds your stamina and your ability to be able to relate to one another.
At what age did you start to play music, and what instrument was it?
I started playing around 3, and it was bongos, drums, pots and pans from my mama's kitchen. She was mad at me, but so she was like, "You better get your son some drums." I mean, if you ain't gonna do nothing else, you better get him some drums because he ain't gonna be tearing up my pants like this. So that's how that rolled. And then she had a piano already up in the crib. So, but I wasn't tall enough to play it yet. So I used to have to play it like from the underside, like like standing up, looking up at the keys, like they way up. Like my arm was fully extended straight up like that, bro. Like, so I had to grow at least another half foot to a foot to be able to see how to put my fingers up right there, and then finally it start moving on down for your boy. You know what I mean?
Dope. What's your favorite hip hop movie?
Ah, man. Nah, I can't say B Street. I'm gonna have to say Crush Groove, bro.
Crush Groove, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go and ride with that real quick.
I thought you were gonna say something like, "Yo, the Muppets Treasure Island was the first hip hop movie." You don't even know.
Bonnie, the first. So
like, hey, you put me on game, man. Hey, I'm a hip hop encyclopedia too, but you just put me on game. I'm like, okay, so yeah, what was the soundtrack to your junior high school experience?
Oh man, what was that? We'll say probably TLC type, like what?
Okay.
Waterfall. That sounds like more like it. Or yeah, they did the End of the Road joint from
End of the Road, hey.
from Boys to Men. That one was like everybody was crying about that. They were like, "Oh, we ain't gonna never see each other again." I was like, "And then no, we ain't." I'm glad I'm back.
Oh yeah. That is like wait. So was that your year? Because that's like a constant like graduation song.
Do you know? But in the hood, that's everybody's year song.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure.
I heard that starting at around 6th or 7th grade, all the way through high school. I heard that record.
Right, exactly. That and like at every hood funeral, you go, I really
everywhere,
miss my home, even though you're gone away. Like, okay, it's grandma here, bro.
At the pizza party, crying. I mean, I'm good, y'all. I mean, we like the record. I get it.
Nah, that's tight.
So when you were in your senior year of high school, what did you think your future was going like? So you're in your senior year of high school. What did you see after that?
All right, here's the story, bro. Because this is when it all blew up, like in a way that when I tell it, I only believe it myself, but it really happened. But it was my going in like, let's say, the top of my senior year, right? I was trying to figure out what school I was going to, what college I was going to be going to. And I really wanted to go to Berkeley, right? I wanted to get the full ride scholarship. I wound up getting that scholarship. It was the only one in the country and only awarded to one person. And it's a big deal. Make Downbeat magazine. It was a huge moment for your boy, right? But I hadn't yet, got all my credits together for high school and everything. And I had an economics teacher, right? And he was like, you ain't getting out of here. He was just on me. He's like, you ain't getting out of here. He's like, what you think you're gonna wind up at Carnegie Hall? So this is what happened, bro. Like, I kid you not. 2 weeks later, I brought him a brochure with my name on the Carnegie Hall brochure. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, bro.
That's how you really shut it down right there.
He quit after that. And I like to say I had something to do with that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mr. Harley had to get going after that.
Oh man.
That's funny. Yeah, that's that's like the ultimate revenge play. I only had that for like maybe like the prom king or something like that. I don't have that for like a teacher. I always wanted to rub it.
This is for my career, bro. Like this was like this is what I want to do for a living. And this man was basically telling me, you a chump. And I was like, let me show you a chump real quick. Let me go to New York real fast to that place you was talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold fast. And it worked out. So by the graces of the creator, the universe was speaking to me, and the third eye was open enough for me to get those connections happening. And it really, really was one of the greatest achievements of my life to see the look on that man's face. It was a very beautiful day for me. Yes, it was.
That's the Antoine Fisher moment.
Oh, yeah.
When he came back, it's like, this is my time. This is my time. She was like, we just so happy to see you. Like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Like, no, we made you some food just like you like when you was a kid. Like, no, F that. Out of my face, old lady. That was you.
That's exactly what it felt like. Oh yeah, it felt good. But yeah, that's how I went, and that jettisoned me right into New York City, because I'd already been doing, some basically Roy Hargrove had been my mentor up to that point.
Wow.
And Greg Hutchinson told Betty Carter and a few other singers about me, and I sent my tape to her. That's how I wound up at Carnegie Hall in the first place. It was on the whim. When dude told me that, I sent my tape out. And she found it, she heard, and she was like, how about coming to New York? I was like, oh, and where we going to be playing? And when she told me, man, I got my heart dropped. I was like, dang, this is going to be great. You know what I mean? And it went from there to Blue Note and Vanguard. I worked with Wynton Marsalis on Marsalis on Music for the documentary. That's a book and a documentary. And then I worked from there with his brother, Branford Marsalis. I went on the road with him with Buckshot LaFunk. Came back from that, did a Curtis Lundy album, a few hits with opened this place called Smalls, on Christopher, the 7th Ave. And yeah, man, that's what I was doing in the 90s space, And then it brought me back to Chicago. Because I like making music here better than I like making music in New York. New York made me feel a little bit more claustrophobic. So
what's the favorite song you made?
Favorite song? Great question. I don't know that I have one. I think it's like saying, what's your favorite kid? And I'm sorry, I can't.
My first one. He's first.
I could say.
Ask me something hard.
Oh, that's easy, bro. My first one.
Yeah, the other ones, them niggas stupid, but this one smart. No, I'm kidding. I don't have no kids, but tell you. It's a really easy question for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
So I got one. R&B, soul, house, jazz. Where do you fit in? Are you just and I asked you this question off the air and you answered it, but I just feel like, when I hear your music, I hear R&B songs, I hear soul songs, the house music genre, I hear jazz. I'll say, in what order? That's a good one. In what order did you come into like your musical talents? Like, did you start off as a jazz musician and then the R&B soul came after that? Was it going on at the same time? How did you end up with house music?
Well, house music to me was a natural progression because gospel was first.
Okay.
And what gospel also allowed me to do was allow me to see how instruments work. So if you could sit down in the pit with all of the musicians, you could see what the organ player doing, drummer, guitar. They had some horn players. They had, stuff was happening, and you could see what what it is you might want to be a part of or not. And it also, made me learn about getting together with folks and how easy it was or how easy it was not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the part where you when you need people to be places on time and stuff like that, you can't control anybody else's life. So at the end of the day, you have to deal with what you have, and what I had was me. So I taught myself how to play all the instruments because I could depend on me being on time for the session. You know what I mean? And I wanted that ability to go straight from the dome right to the tape.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I made that particular choice. But I do believe that the genres that I cover allow me to be my own brand because it hasn't been done before. And I know it hasn't been done before because I've searched profusely as a teacher and as a mentor to make sure that the frequencies I omit are actually going to be frequencies that are new to the public consciousness, to the DJ, to whomever is listening to it. And that's based on construct, bro. And if you don't know how things are made, you don't know how to make something new. Facts, like really.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the education part, people downplay it, but it's the most important part of it. If you ain't got your fundamentals together, you're not going to be Steph Curry, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So we have a request from the chat. There's a chat screen going on from YouTube, whatever. When I asked you was your favorite question, somebody replied, I can't believe I loved her. And they wanted you to speak on this record.
Wow. My favorite record, that's I think what you were talking about was your favorite record. Mm-hmm. That one, it was one for me that it's really self-explanatory. This was basically the court case in 3 parts put in one record that I have for custody of my daughter. You know what I mean? So, if you listen to that, you'll get the gist of what was happening, man.
Dude,
but
when I heard that song, I remember I went to this girl that I knew was a fan of you guys. And I didn't know the name of the song, but it's so funny. I remember saying to her, I was saying the lyrics. I was like, what? I was like, who is this? I'm like, what is this? And whatever. And I think that I was so horrible at trying to explain. The lyrics was on point, but I think my artistic delivery probably she wasn't able to catch it or whatnot. But yeah, that was one of the first ones for me. And then of course Gabrielle.
Yeah.
That was like that was a very special song, man. It's like the writing, like we discussed earlier today, the writing, the musicianship, your singing, like everything was on point. And it was like when I heard that, now when I heard Gabrielle, I went to my homeboy DJ Colleen, and he's the one that he did one of your back in the MySpace days. He put together a couple mixtapes. Still listen to him right now, or mixes. I still listen to him right now. And I wanted to know more about who you were because me just listening to some house music, but more commercial house music, hip hop, everything from E40 to the native tongue kind of thing going on. I didn't know that much about house music and all that. And it's funny because I heard about 3 of your songs, but I was so far removed, I couldn't place them with you being the same artist. They were like these 3 songs that are kind of staples. And I listened to a lot of Lars Bärenroth, and he was, you know, he when he was doing his deeper shades of house,
Yeah.
his mixes, which I started listening to a lot, and I started getting it. And I'll say, yeah, man, you were one of my best musical finds. Yeah, for sure. One of my best musical finds. And then I was blessed with the opportunity to get to know you a little bit. But I'll say this: COVID was a horrible thing, but I'll tell you one of the best things that I got out of COVID that I didn't get it until maybe July. I had no idea that Dion Cole was a real DJ and that he was dope. And I was like, this summer, I was like, where was I during COVID? Like, how was I missing this dude? He was rocking the party.
Well, I mean, I know I'm about to get a bunch of you know, interaction or something about what I'm about to say, but I don't give a shit. Anyway, you know, like whatever is great about a DJ, you know, I think that's a moot point, and that's something that, you know, is up for huge discussion among the scholars. I'll leave it right there. All right. So at the end of the day,
I hear you. I hear you.
You know, at the end of the day, man, we're gonna keep it moving past all that, and we you know, we're gonna talk about the welfare. For me, the welfare of the people who listen to this music and have supported it all this time since it's made its transition from disco and into what it is now. And we have a huge mantle, and we've actually created a monster that it's headless right now. Every other genre has its order to how it releases its music.
Mhm.
You know, DJ, the artist represents the song. The artist represents the song, not the DJ. The situation that's happening now isn't so much as upsetting for me for any other reason than how little education the people are getting because of it. The people are being left out of so much beautiful music and expression from the artists that could fill them in on lots of things that they may be going through. And, you know, don't forget that the purpose of music was to be therapeutic, yes. Dance first, first and foremost, you're supposed to be able to dance to music. But it's supposed to do something to heal the body and to reverberate in a way where it enlightens the perspective of the person that's feeling it. So taking that aspect away is to me a no-no, and that the relationship between the artist and the music has to be something that is maintained, and that happens only through the copyrights. You see how that connection happens, which is why we don't see so many people saying the artist's name and the name of the song before and after the song, or after, you know, however you like to do it, but it's supposed to be done. And that makes sure that the accreditation and all of the credits that are on that record are given to the proper parties and that have done the work on the record. And that divvy down is something that has to be held together by something more than the honor system. It's not enough. The honor system is not something you build businesses upon. You build businesses upon contracts. You understand? So we're having a miseducation on purpose thing happen. So people can't stay connected to the actual thing that they fell in love with, which is the artist and the sound that artist makes, and their ability to go see that artist live, and, you know, get that autograph, get that selfie or whatever it is, get those real life meetings that we really, really do cherish, man. I would not know Brown. I wouldn't know how cool Brown and certain folks are if I didn't meet them. I wouldn't know how cool De La is if I didn't meet them. People wouldn't know how cool my artist is if they didn't meet her. Like, it's just how it rolls, man. Like, it's a part of it. And I want people to really embrace the idea that, it's important that the copyrights be respected. From the DJ to the dancer to the label, everybody's supposed to respect the copyrights so the government can do their job properly. Or if they don't do their job properly, that will be exposed as well. You see?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Running it back, I think every time you bring up a controversial topic, I'm gonna go deeper in on purpose because it's funny.
You would, bro.
he'd be like, let's just move past that. But like, let's run it back. No, but I will say, I feel like DJ these days, especially from home, is like that's like rich black man's golf. Like it's just like the private activity you do when you got. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
a lot of good that does them. I mean, who's to say what's good in this world anymore? I mean, like, when I give up,
what good is neither here nor there. It's just I've noticed that it's a good B thing to do if your A is doing well, especially as a black man. You know what I mean? Other guys do it too, but I just noticed consistently. They be like, "Oh man, come to the crib, like, what? I'm DJing, like." And it just be them at the DJ board at home. I'm not kidding. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, do you sitting there listening to them play other people's music?" You know what I mean? It was really interesting.
Yeah, well, my DJ set is not like that. I play all my music, which is another copyright kind of a thing. And put up
the your music. Speaking of your music, the chat going crazy. So you got to comment. You can keep it short, but I just want to honor your fans. One person wants you to talk about Everyday Girl.
Is it a dude or a chick?
let's say it's a chick.
I have to, direct it.
Let's just say it's
based
a
on
chick,
the gender, man.
Let's just
like really.
Let's say it's a chick.
Oh, okay. About relationships, about needing what you need when you need it, and having that be more than just about sex.
Okay.
How about that? All right, can we not talk about that?
Well, we can talk about that. Yeah, girl. Like, yeah, it's a girl. She wants you to verify. Hey, what's another one?
All right, man. So you got
yeah. Well, Watch Them Come.
Oh, word. What you want to know about it?
They just want you to talk about just a few words. That's it.
Well, the language on it is one I invented, and I have it in my journal to this day. The exact notes that I wrote when I was in the studio to actually come up with it. Mm-hmm. And it's it's controversial too, but all these things tend to work themselves out. And the older I get, the more wisdom I have, the more likely it is that I know how to turn, lemons into lemonade a whole lot better now. I can make, a big old cake now I can do all kind of stuff with a lemon now, bro. My lemon game is on fire. So, awesome. I'm cool with whatever has happened in the past, changing for a better future for myself, because I got faith in my ability to make sure that's the way it comes out.
Also, rounding this out, Jeanette said she was fortunate to catch you at the LA show Deep, and said Prince was there.
Yeah, what up? Yep.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
And I would like to know a little bit about, because you touched on it a little bit, but how would you describe the Chicago music scene? Because you said you ended up back in Chicago. I just wonder, how was it? Like, did it change for you going back, and how would you describe it, like then and now?
Man, you asking me some pointed questions. No, you don't think so.
How was the Harvey? How was the Harvey? How was the Harvey music scene? Talk about that now.
Oh my God! I mean, like, All right, so Chicago, is dealing with I feel like a drought, and it's a drought brought on by lack of collaborative spirits. I just say that, the in all of businesses, all of music is to me a community based art where it can't thrive without the community actually operating properly and behaving properly, you see. But if you have a faction that decides that the most important thing is to do away with music, then we have an issue. And that means doing away with the artists. And that's the competitive space that has been gilding itself out in the last, 3 to 4 decades. And if you take a look at who owns Spotify, they're DJs. Who owns Beatport? Who owns TrackSource? I can go down. I keep going if you want, but it's like it's an obvious concerted effort.
I feel like you're trying to say something. I don't know what it is. I don't know
No,
what your point is.
I think no,
Like
you might have misunderstood me.
Like you're trying to convey a message underneath.
Yes, I've tried to be subtle, but it doesn't seem to be working out for me these days.
So I heard you're working on a deal with Spotify. I heard it.
Man, we trying to keep it, man. We trying to keep it, man.
Oh, hey, we keeping it hip hop. It's all good. He's doing right. Look, man, it is what it is, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and keep being me. Because at the end of the day, the people like that. It's a dude who still his mama's son out here, who makes music, and who's making the music so the people can feel energies that I know they ain't felt yet because I ain't put them out. All right, like I got them locked up in the computer stuff that, bro. I got some stuff in this computer, bro. Like for real.
I believe you.
Y'all just like for real. That stuff that I got out now is stuff that I'm super proud of, y'all. All right, and I'm so glad y'all love it. But this is about evolution and growing, and you don't get to decide how fast or slow anybody grows. You just along for the ride or not. And I hope y'all stay along for the ride, because it's crazy for me having to deal with putting the music out. I want y'all to know that. Making a record for me is sifting through 13 other records that are being made at the very same time in my head from 5 or 6 other genres. It's madness all the time. So I work really hard to bring the records I do bring to y'all. And I hope y'all can just bear with me, because it's tough sometimes,
And it's funny that being said, I might have said this earlier in the interview, but I know that I said it to Pevin earlier today. I remember asking him to I told him I wanted to interview him on Splendid at this. It was the last show of this Gorillaz tour at the O2 Theater somewhere. And excuse me, man. I'm not that funny, but this was funny. So I felt that I was cool enough with Pevin to where it wouldn't be like a fan moment or something. And Brown was like, man, you better hit everybody up for drops, right? This is the last show. Hit everybody up for drops. See what you can do. Just do for Splendid. So I was like, okay, cool. So I move around the room. I get to Pevin, and I'm like, yo, man, I podcast that I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Can I get an interview? And then Pevin was kind of like, he was kind of thrown off by it. And in a very respectful way, he was kind of like, someone want to talk to me. Like he couldn't wrap his over the whole thing. He couldn't like wrap his mind around it. I don't know if it was because we were just cool, we were hanging out for months or whatever. And
Yeah.
so when he said it, I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna ask him again. You know what I'm saying? Now is just not the time, and it's not the place. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, it wasn't that I didn't want to do the interview with you. It's just that, like, you know, at certain points, you know, I know what I can handle. If I can handle having to be vulnerable in certain ways,
okay.
that, you know, at that time I felt a little tender. You know what I mean? I need to get my my head together. And I was going through a sickness too at the time, physically speaking. That's why I left the tour.
Okay.
All right, so like it was a few things. So, you know, I was just trying to let you know, like, it's all good, bro. Just get back at me if possible.
Oh
Hopefully you don't
yeah, I
hate
did.
me, you know, because of whatever I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I don't know what I said to you, but I'm sure I wasn't rude.
Oh no, not at
And
Yeah.
all. Not at
and the
all.
thing the thing is that we're talking now because we had a genuine connection, you, me, and Brown, particularly because I think we're from the same school of thinking, man. You know, and we kind of like the same frequencies of music, especially me liking Pharcyde like I did, and like being able to work with, like, be on stage with him, like for real, like bro, like for real, like this. That gorilla situation, man, it was a great bonding experience for me. With my relationship with hip hop, it really grounded it. Bam, like hard.
Yeah, no, I'll say that. You know, once again, and I'll always say it. I wish more people could have shared the experience of you singing the songs with Brown and your
Mhm.
interaction on stage. And like I said, that's a different, I'm not going to say different. I'll say that's a palette of Pevin that I don't think people have really seen. Like, because you were what I was thinking, Pevin Everett. I was thinking, okay, he's on the road. You're gonna have some cool jazz. You're gonna have some, you know, that's what I've seen Pevin do. But seeing you on that stage with Brown, that was just like a total different. You were hitting those notes, man. It was that just took it that much higher for me. And nah,
Well,
you
I mean, a lot of people don't know what I do because they try to cover over what I do.
okay.
You know what I mean? A lot of people say they remix me when they don't even remix me. You know what I mean? They be like, yeah, I played with Pevin. I had a dude say he played with Pevin ever, and he didn't know he was talking to me.
Whoa, 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 whoa. How'd you play
This is
that?
how they be fronting off out here, man. Like, so I just try to stay to myself, man, because try to let the music speak for what I do. But, you know, I am from Harvey. All right, you're not. That's not removing itself out of my spirit, man. But I will, you know, act accordingly and genuinely like I'm supposed to in all circumstances. But don't mess with mine. Is where I'm at with it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't out here messing with yours. I made sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see the point? When I'm
Mm-hmm.
making sure I don't, you know, step on nobody's toes by staying home. You know what I mean? By not being out taking selfies, not being this place or that place. You know, that's a strike against my networking too. So it makes certain other things suffer as well. So it's a give and take that you have with this business. You have to just find out how it works for you, man. And I've been doing that, man, and just building on trying to make sure I keep the music safe to be able to continue to build in the manner that the people want it.
How do you
That's
feel
it.
when people how do you feel when people remix your music?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
I feel I feel like if they, you know, that they taking the easy way out.
Yeah.
I do. I do. I think, if you want to make music, go make some music. And then you don't have to talk to me about nothing. You can just collect your copyrights. You could be 100% owner of the whole thing. But that's hard. That's why I did it. Because at the end of the day, I don't want nobody mad at me because I owe them some money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All I want was to make some music and feed my family, feed my daughter. Sorry, take it from Biggie's page. Like, that's all I wanted to do. So, but they made it like we supposed to be street fighting about music. Man, y'all get this all beat it. Well, I mean, this ain't no beat it video, bro.
Speaking of Michael Jackson, actually, when you was answering that question, it kind of reminded me of, I've been going down a rabbit hole. I seen they had Michael Jackson's was it 30th anniversary concert or whatever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was funny because everybody was like doing covers of his music. They had like Whitney Houston and Usher, and it's like, I think the worst one was like Liza Minnelli or something. Man, Michael was the most unimpressed ever. I mean, I don't know who put this together, but you could tell he does not hide. I mean, besides his face being messed up, he could not hide his lack of empathy.
His face was.
He goes. It was like, we love you, Michael. And he was like, yo, it's like
no, you don't. Not singing like ever. That. You don't love me.
He was like, you making me this bullshit.
Oh my gosh, you could see in his face. He hated everybody that night. He hated his family. He hated Whitney Houston.
I hate all everybody.
Of you. Yeah, that's what you can see it on his face. He wasn't even hiding. He like, yeah, okay, yeah. You want to be starting something? Guess what? I'm gonna start.
Where the food at? Where the food at? I mean, this is over here.
Beat it, yeah, beat it. Yeah.
Where the kids? Let's go. We come on. Y'all come on, get your things. Let's go.
Look, I'm gonna throw two more in there. We're gonna keep it pushing. You got fans, bro. They want you to talk about sexy makeup.
Oh man. Sexy makeup.
Just 2 words, Mike.
2 words, man. All right, cool. 2 words.
All right, cool.
Yeah, great. I love it. It's one of my favorite records. How about that?
Okay. What about Burning Hot?
Burning Hot burnt up my studio.
Really?
Yeah, it set my studio on fire. Right when I grabbed the master out of the mixer board.
So it's funny because you like each song seems like it does have some deeper meaning behind it, like legit.
Oh yeah, man. It's coming from a place, man, where it's just more than me happening, man, and I'm just glad I could be the channel for it.
All right, okay, all right. Then I want you to talk about the album Latest Craze. It's a man if you need to know that. It's a male.
All right, Latest Craze. That album was, that album was between between Beyond the Universe and Easy Living. And that was a transitional moment for me. So Easy Living, if you know what Easy Living was, like Put Your Back in It, Banging, all them joints was on that one. And then Beyond the Universe, that's when Burning Hot came out, you see? So it was like the album right between those two. And that was my transitional album, and I did a lot of growing in that album. So if y'all pick that one up, go to the website, Pevin.net, y'all be good. And that should handle a lot of your questions about how far I've come now. If you listen to that album particularly, thanks for mentioning it. That one will really lock you into why I'm making the album that I'm making now.
If you could have your dream collaboration.
Oh, not doing this to me, bro. All right, go
ahead. You fooled around and petted the cat, man. You got cool with me, man. I hate to be that guy.
All right, but, come on with it.
Yep. So if you could make it happen, what would that look like?
Well, I'll whisper it to the person who it is because these haters is out here watching. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Oh,
But I'll say one of them for real, like for real, for real.
Mhm.
If I could say I wanted to collab with somebody, yeah, I mean, I've kind of already met those people,
Okay. That's
and
fair.
we're already talking.
okay.
All right.
So that's now that's a flex. That's pretty nice.
Okay, okay.
I
Can't wait to see
mean,
that album with you and Jay-Z. It's gonna be great. All right.
you no, that's not one of the. No, that's not one. But I will say that there's a rapper in there, a couple of,
Interesting. Interesting.
and I'll even go as far, to say, I don't mind because I know ain't nobody gonna be able to burn this track up like these two particular MCs.
Mm.
Hey, so I already said one, you know what I mean? So y'all should have some idea. I can't
Okay.
get a whole thing away because then that'll mess it up
Okay. Okay.
on the release, But I got to be strategic about how my lips move these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I had somebody who was like passed away, Aretha Franklin,
Okay.
Okay.
I really wished I could have worked with her, and I really do wish like a Marvin Gaye, like those types, the folks who I knew play piano,
Mm-hmm.
they have a different sensibility on how melody works.
Man, you see.
So we go.
Oh, go ahead,
So
Jeremy.
I was wondering if we're gonna see you on the new Andre 3000 flute album, the next one he put out.
Oh man, this man right here, boy. You had to ask him. I guess it'll be a 3 point, Andre 3000.5, maybe some situation like that. You gonna hook me up, or I don't know. I would hope to be able to collab with a lot of people who don't think that I would work with them.
Mm.
But I'm not kicking nobody's situation out of bed. I'm just trying to make great music with people I understand and get my artist out. Like for real, like my artist is dope. Billy
Mm.
Joel is dope. Like the situation I got happening now, I'm very proud of. But at the same time, it's got a long way to go for public recognition. And that's okay by me. I'm just really interested in the people getting to hear the music and not having it be bastardized or interfered with by any other entities. I just want the people to get it straight from me. So, at least they can know they can trust my product if they get it that way.
Mm. I wanted to ask what's missing in music these days, but I feel like you're going to say money or copyright.
Yeah, both of those are they're definitely missing. More importantly, the fun of going to a show without a phone and what it really feels like to have music fill you up and in a way where you just don't need to have your phone feeling it too. That thing kind of gets in the way of my ability to see people's eyes for them to enjoy the moment because you can get your selfie. Wait till after the show. I'll take pictures with every one of you.
Mm.
But while we're in the show, this is like going to church, if you will, or going to one of those weird little things you used to have to do it in elementary school where the whole class goes to an assembly or whatever. But this is a opportunity to have fun, one, grow, two,
Mm.
three, dance.
Mm.
Now, all of these things make something else happen in the human condition.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to say, you see? And that makes us open to be able to experience life in the way that we like. Because without music, take all of the music out, what does your life look like?
Mm.
All of us. Just take it out your phone. Take it out of the elevator at the bank or to the hospital or to the department. Take music from everything. We're just a bunch of workers at that point, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a mundane life, man. Life without music, bro. In my opinion. So,
fools will be knocking each other over the head. You know,
man, dude, they want to know how to do nothing else, man. It's already close like that, man.
oh man. So, you're a pretty modest musician. One of the more humble musicians, and it's crazy because Brown and yourself are similar in that way, where you don't toot your own horn. You know, you're confident in what you do, but it's like it's not for you to be out there and to, I guess, you both of you respect your art, you respect your craft, you don't exploit it. That's what I'll say. You don't exploit it. With that being said, the song Gabrielle, the trumpets, the singing,
yeah.
the playing. What was your inspiration for that song?
It just made sense, you know. Gabrielle was written like between 3 and 4 in the morning. And I was working on myself in a way where I was sleeping, doing this weird regimen of on and off sleep and trying to see how I could work my my dream sequence space, my third eye, my fifth dimension, if you will. All right. I was trying to get that to bleed into the regular everyday living. So I could stay in a dream state when I was awake. So I wrote Gabriel in that space. It was in the middle of the night, and I woke it up. I wasn't even looking at the paper when I wrote it. I was just scribbling it down on the pad that was next to my bed because I was trying to actually bring something forward from my dream space. And that's the tune that came out, and it wrote itself. And when I woke up in the morning, the whole page was filled, and that's what was there.
Man. Yeah. And that's definitely one of my favorite. And shame on me. I do wish that I would have saw you at that Deep concert. I saw the YouTube footage after the fact, and I was like, man, I was like, oh man, this was in the hometown, and
man.
That was whether you know it or not, that was well, shoot, you do know it too. The Prince showed up, you know what I'm saying?
that was the highlight right there, bro. I was like, yo, I saw the big dudes, and then they kind of parted like the Red Sea, and he looked down a little different right there. There was his hair and a little mustache, and I was like, yeah, him right there. I was on stage when I saw him, so I wasn't gonna shout him out or nothing, and then have him run out of there like crazy. But he left anyway. He didn't want to talk. He just wanted to see what all the hype was about with the young kid or whatever. And I appreciate the love, and it was one of my best moments of my career for sure.
That definitely sounds like an honor, man. That's crazy.
You kidding me, bro? Yes.
How many instruments do you play?
Somewhere between 10 and 13.
10 and 13. Can you take us through a few?
Yeah, trumpet, trombone, drums, percussion, bass, guitar, organ. I do play a little flute, Andre, just for the books. I don't tell everybody that because I don't like doing that so much. It's feels weird.
The big old one.
No, nah. I play vibraphones.
Okay.
Anything chordal. French horn.
French horn. Okay.
Yeah, like I had to do all of the brass stuff because I was a student teacher and I mentored my junior high. So, I had to learn them in order to, be able to teach people and get a little bread in the crib, man, because my pops wasn't around. So I was the only boy after my brother passed away when I was I was 8 years old when that happened. I became the man of the house then.
Jeez,
so
yeah.
I had to find some money, some way, somehow to help my mom's out. So I started, between that and being a caddy, I used to ride my bike for 3 miles, man, up a highway to get to the golf course, the Midlothian golf course, to be a caddy. As I was still doing the student teaching at Whittier and Brooks Junior High back in Harvey. So this was like been on my grind since I was a kid, man.
That was my first job too.
Was it caddy?
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Chasing them divots, pulling them divots in, man, and washing them stupid clubs, dragging that doggone bag, man. Like sometimes they won't even let you ride in the car. Ain't that nothing, man? They won't let you ride in the car.
People used to say it all the time. They'd be like, "Why don't they just let you ride with them?" I'm like, "Cause we're the alternative to the car." So you either get a car,
I don't do that no more, man.
Either get a car or a slave. I mean, it's one or the other.
Right. I'm like, man, oh no, man. I don't like having done that job, but yeah, it happened.
But you know what?
Ain't gonna give me like that no more.
There are times I wish I was doing that because it was tax-free and I didn't realize I was making money until I entered the real workforce. Ooh. I was like, oh, I was making some money, tax-free, cash.
100, 200 straight flat like that?
Bruh.
Damn. Go out for another one? That was the good part, but it was all of what you had to take about it, bro. Like, anyway, that's just caddy talk,
Caddy talk,
caddy trauma.
And I played trombone too. That's another thing a lot of people don't know.
Oh, my man. That's the one I started on.
Yeah, same. I wanted to do the saxophone, but that got taken immediately. So in band, the only thing we had was the trombone. So I was killing the trombone at the time.
Well, that saxophone a little too phallic for me, bro. I can't I can't be sticking stuff in there like that, like doing that kind of. No.
That's what I'm hearing people say that these like nowadays, but when I was young, I ain't hear nobody say that. Like everybody wanted to be like
sticking
Kenny G.
I'm not licking on no wood. And exactly. Yeah, that's the stuff you gotta say. But no, I'm not dealing with no saxophone, man. Y'all got that. Enjoy yourselves.
Transitioning on to something other than reeds and mouths and all that kind of stuff. There's a commonality between you, Jeremy, and Pevin, and I didn't get it until yesterday. I was going through Pevin's IG, and dude, he's a hell of an artist, dude. Like a drawing artist, like very talented. And I was like, man, it's a trip. Me seeing his art, I got it. He's just a passionate cat. That's just it. Like whatever he does, there's gonna be that level. And Brown's similar in his process to where like whatever the person does, the level of passion is not gonna waver because it may be something different than what they're doing. Man.
That's just common decency and respect that you hold for the music and the people that you're working with. That's what I love, Brown, man, because we go. When it's time to go in, man, go in, man. Like real. Don't be half-assing, man. If you don't pick up the gun if you ain't shoot, right? You ain't gonna shoot, don't pick it up, right? That's how it goes.
Get it started. So when did you start drawing?
Same time I started playing. All this stuff happened, like burst out of me from like 3. And I don't know nothing else but drawing and music since then.
All right. Your
Yeah,
most iconic. Oh, go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry.
no, go ahead. I would say I could relate. It was pretty much the same for me with those
Yeah,
things.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you seem pretty steady in your comic space. So, I mean, for me, I just appreciate knowing another artist for one that's Black.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
for real, because we rare. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of Black dudes that really love it and like really study it and then try to get their figurative drawing together and make sure they're shading some point, make sure that they're presenting their product in a particular way, so the people can consume it in the way that we know they deserve to. It's that, and we don't get to really powwow about it very much. Excuse the terminology, just in case some people didn't like that one. But
No.
you got to be completely sensitive out here. But when it comes to painting, and art, we don't get to discuss it much with each other. So I'm just glad to know that you do it, man. And what are you into, Marvel, those kinds of things? What kind
of? Yeah, I went to perform. I went to a art school, so I had to do. It took up like a good 7 years of my life.
Yeah,
and then I went for visual arts. That's drawing, painting, sculpting, and then also jazz piano at the same time. Well, the jazz piano was shorter, but I'd say I would paint musicians. Like, I like my first nice paintings, big paintings was Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, that was my lazy book report. Like, whenever I had to do a book report at school, I would just do Duke Ellington. And since I knew everything about Duke Ellington, I would just reuse the same stuff over and over. So when it was like, oh, you got to, make this big piece, I'm like, Duke Ellington. Okay. So, but yeah, as far as Marvel, DC. I mean, I was a Spider-Man. I probably, person I drew the most. If you're really into it, Scarlet Spider. But Iron Man, Hulk. I mean, I did it all.
It was Iron Man for me earlier on, and then I got into Spawn. When I found Spawn, that totally changed how. I mean, Jim Lee's. It's a lot of guys. McFarlane and Lee are particularly the ones I follow, and Alex Ross.
Wait, Rob Liefeld. Since we're going there,
dude.
Yeah,
dude. Yes.
Now he's the best worst. He's the best of the best worst because his, he got in trouble for his anatomy being off.
Yep.
But he would draw.
It was still looking fly though.
It was hard. He started the whole like muscular, like
super
buff dudes, you know what I mean? And then I think Todd McFarlane took it to a whole nother level.
Yep.
But yeah, like Todd McFarlane was make grotesque, meaty, veiny stuff. But yeah, Rob Liefeld, man, I mean, he would make the dude muscles like the chest be all up in here.
A little bit, yeah.
That's just the hand be small, but the arm be buff.
Right. Get that together.
But yeah, I studied all that, man. I was just, just a nerdy kid from the hood. That's all, man. I drew it from Ninja Turtles to, was it Sonic the Hedgehog? I was obsessed.
Word. Well, yeah, man. I'm sure we'll rap a lot about that when I get to LA soon. I'm sure.
So, please. Yeah. Absolutely.
We'll definitely link it up. Today, your most iconic moment.
My most iconic moment. That's good. I'll say it's getting my Heineken Independent Achiever Award, particularly because of what was happening when I got it. I was told that R. Kelly and his people were in the balcony, and Raheem Devon was there as well. And right when I'm about to receive my award, for that year. It was a 2005 circumstance that I had 7 albums in the year. And Raheem Devon came down, staged right. I remember this like it was yesterday. And then the announcer says, R. Kelly and Wayne want to know if Raheem can receive your award for you.
What?
What
does that mean?
but I'm here, right here, ready to my hand. Look at my hand. I could just put it in my hand. And
what does that mean?
I was like, no, absolutely not. And ever since then, you know, them folks don't really like me, but I sure got my award that day. And it was one of the best awards I've ever gotten because it was the people telling me, man, we see you, we hear you. Here's a token of our appreciation. That's it. Just because it was that. And the people were speaking. And I like it when the people speak.
Is that common for people to accept other people's awards and they're around?
And if you look at the picture from that day, it's on Getty Images. You will see the exact one. I got this wrinkled vest on, and but the smile on my face is wild, bro. It's like you could see all of that happening in my face. Like, did this just happen? No thanks. So that's how that went.
That's like Debo, like if like, hey, we like to honor you with this award. It's my award. Like,
right?
What?
Nah.
What award, fool? That's crazy.
You know, I'm from Harvey, fool. How about it?
I'm from Harvey.
All right.
Let me see. Okay, this is another chat question. Do you have any advice you would give your younger self?
Yeah, I do. Get rich first. Don't think about nothing but that. I have my avenue, this the same avenue I'm on now. The thing is that, you have to be prepared for family. You have to be prepared to take that kind of a obligation and responsibility on. And if you're not, it'll show you you're not. And it'll show you to what degree you are prepared. But, I will say that, focus on your bag. All right? Because without it, you can't survive. And neither will your children or the people who love you.
Facts. And what's the best advice someone's ever given you?
Don't ever follow nobody dumber than you.
That's a good
With
one.
Marcellus.
Dang. A master. Definitely a master at his craft,
Yeah. You got to be a master of a lot of things on this planet to be in this music business, don't you?
Yeah. So, what would your bio movie be called?
You'll see soon.
I don't know if that's the title or that's just how you feel, but that was so gangster. You'll see soon. I like both. Dang, that's crazy. That sounds like that's like a threat.
Yeah. It would be very, very, very typical of my persona these days, where people say, they've been hearing the dinosaur shaking the water for a long time with me. So it's time for the beast to actually show his gruesome face, I suppose. So get ready, y'all.
That's funny. And who would play you?
Oh, man. Who would play me? It's a good one, bro. I never even thought about who. Oh, man, I don't know no young cats right now can do that. Let's see. I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go with ooh. I don't see nobody that looks like me, bro, out here like acting wise. It ain't Kevin Hart. So I mean, like he go on the wilder side than me. So
I got a terrible one for you, and you're gonna hate me for life. But
I don't
I
care.
got
I
one
don't
for
care.
you. Only because of this angle. No other picture but this angle.
Chris Rock.
The baby. Nah, the baby.
The baby. I'm with that. Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
would I
Yeah, yeah,
would
yeah,
put
yeah.
the baby. I wish I could bring this in here right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We do got this part right here.
Just right there. That's it. Hey, he kind of needs you too. Yo.
That's good, bro. I see you.
Nah, so man, I want to thank y'all fool. Y'all are fools. Nah,
That's
man,
perfect.
I want to thank you, Pevin, man. You came through, man. It was tight. I appreciate you letting the audience in kind of on a to some extent the kind of conversations that we have when we interact. You know what I'm saying? And I'm able to
Yeah.
just kind of and
Yeah.
dude, it's not my intention to just go and just like hell of a go through your Rolodex every time we hook up and I'm just like asking all these questions. But
Nah, man, don't trip. Don't trip.
I'm
It's
your
all
brother,
good, man.
I'm your brother, but I'm a fan too. You know what I'm saying? I'm really
Hey, man, we got this. It's all good, man. I appreciate you even, thinking to interview me. Man, it's good meeting you too, Jeremy. Like, really,
Yeah.
it's been a fantastic, fantastic moment.
Yeah, we gonna stay in touch, man. I'm gonna follow you, and you know what I mean. As soon as you touch down LA, let me know. You gotta get you to
My
a show.
dude, that sounds like a plan, man.
Pevin, if you wanted to steer people to something right now, where would you steer them as far as social media or where they can hear your music, see your music?
Yeah, go to Pevin.net, uh, and go to my IG, Everett.Pevin. You can go to I am Pevin Everett as well, in terms of my social media. And listen, y'all, don't go no place and pay no subscription fee unless it's the artist's website. All right. It's not for free. The music ain't for free if you're paying a subscription site. A subscription fee for it, right? What you paying for if it's free?
Hey,
Right.
This
Right.
this message
Y'all
this
done,
message
y'all got bamboozled. I ain't gonna let that go like that. Y'all got bamboozled. Come on back home. The food is wonderful.
this message was sponsored by the people at Spotify, Apple Music, Title, and
that was funny.
Go
That was funny.
Also, I would like to say you can catch all the episodes of Splendid Radio on Spotify right now for the low, low price of your soul and any royalties that you're expecting. Thank you.
So what's up with you, Jeremy? You got any shows coming up? What you got going?
Man, I'm out of here, dog. So tomorrow night I'll be at Comedy Patio at Grand Central Market. After that, I'm out. I have no more LA shows. Goodbye. See you later. I'll be in New York. I'll update you on that. But I do know I'm doing Gotham, The Stand, and I got I know my boy. I can't remember the day. I think it's the 20th. It's the 20th. Yeah, it's the 20th. I'm doing my boy Avery Mason from y'all know who that is?
No. I've heard the name Avery Mason before.
Okay, yeah, Avery Mason. It's his birthday show. He's on Power. He plays like the big dude on Power. He just asked me to do his birthday. So yeah, I'm gonna do that for my boy.
Respect.
Yeah, appreciate you. Other than that, I'll see you guys next year.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, it's been another episode of Splendid Radio on PharcydeTv. Once again, thank you, Pevin. Thank you, Jeremy, for doing what you do.
Thank you, man.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
All right.